talk about my topic, the strategic decision support system for Hong Kong Mahjong game. I myself a professional Mahjong player and also the former chairman of the Mahjong Study Society of COHK.
What is the definition of professional Mahjong?
I win the championship in COHK.
Okay. So, but not by leading. Not making leading.
I try to win the one in for the John University.
Okay.
Fight for COHK. And I find it best for me to do something I'm interested and capable of. That's why I switched my topic in the middle of this semester. This is my semester, and I do it for like 1.5 hours.
Okay.
And I want to ask, how much do you know about Mahjong?
Very little.
Very little. So I think this might help business supplement paper. Because I'm using English, so these all the names are in here, and this one is legal winning hand.
In particular, also?
Yeah, low score to high score. In Mahjong, each player begins with 30 tiles. So they draw and discard the tile until they complete a legal hand in like 14 tiles in total. Sometimes they can win by a special hand. Like in here, you can win by 13 terminal tiles. This one is special. The only special one in Hong Kong Mahjong. And in my project, I use Hong Kong Mahjong as a reference. Okay. Then my project goals is to solve 4 different scenarios. The first one is when at the beginning of the game, you got a random set of 14 tiles. It can help you calculate the fastest route to a winning hand. The second one is if your hand is a winning hand, it will calculate the total score and show you how you get that and which type of it is it. And the third one is it will show all the final tiles for a ready hand to win. A ready hand means you have 13 tiles. You just wait for one more to win. The fourth one is show all the ready hand for different discarded tiles. I will explain it later because it's hard to do. And in here is my system design. On the left is a mini Mahjong game. You play with 4 NPC and you keep throwing and drawing tiles. And on the right is the main analysis, the decisions, the support system. You can either copy it from your game or you can input by yourself in the real game. And and here is my system workflow. Basically, how my system works is accept the input, and it will determine, oh, you are eating 13 tiles or 14 tiles. Then it will check if you input 14 tiles. It will check is there a winning hand or not. If yes, then calculate the score. If no, it will check if it's a ready hand but +1, meaning that it's this one. If it is yes, it will show all the possible floating tiles and the related winning hand for you.
Do you provide the information about what is the probability of getting a particular?
In here, this one, it will show if you throw 4 bamboo, you can get you are waiting for 5 and 8. There's total of 5. So if you throw 8 bamboo, you are waiting for 1, 4, and 7. So in total, you are getting 8.
Yeah, but this how many you are waiting for, right? So,
yeah.
But in terms of, for example, what are the? Now I'm thinking about what is the likelihood of getting these particular ones. One is, of course, if you're waiting for more cars, then the probability is lower.
Yes.
But also, even for only waiting for one, there is difference in the probability, right?
Yes.
So how do you cater this kind of?
Yeah, I think the reason why I only put down the number is because I'm doing this for a real life situation. You can't input all the discarded tile on the river into the system, so you can't calculate. So instead of that,
Why you cannot?
because
Are
maybe
you
there's a
allowed?
20 discarded tile, you don't have the time to input all of them. So instead of that, I will let the user to calculate by themselves. If you see two, for example, if you see in the river there's two 8 bamboo there, so that means you have no chance to getting a 8 bamboo to win, right? That's the reason. If this system is integrated like into a Mahjong game, yes, you definitely can do that. It's really easy to do that.
Yeah.
Just calculate the number and calculate the percentage.
Okay.
Let's carry on. In here is the hardest part. This is the algorithm part. For start, it basically determines it is a winning hand or a ready hand situation. By first isolate is it a 13 terminal tiles, the special hand, as I mentioned before, the very special hand, because it is not in the form of 4 sets and an I, so 3, 3, 3, 2 form. And if it's not a 13 terminal tiles, it will further determine is it a 3, 3, 3, 3, 2 form. If it's not, then it's definitely not a ready hand. Then it will carry out to the further analyzation. And if it is yes, it will try to identify which suits is it carrying. Like if it's only contains dragon and wind, which means it must be a all or none winning hand. So you output all or none winning hand. If it's a mix of all of them, then we will further check if it's all triplets. If it is yes, and then we can sure it's the one all triplets in here. If it's a no, we can then sure it's not a winning hand, because even if it is in a 3-3-3-2 form, but it's definitely not enough points for a Hong Kong Mahjong to win. So if it's carry bamboo dots or character mixed with dragon and wind, we will carry it. Then we determine if it mixed with them, yes or no. Then we will determine if it all triplets. If it yes, well, definitely it gain more points in here and here. This one is pure suits. This one is mixed suits. So at this point, we all know 4 of them are both winning hand, so we can determine it is a winning hand. What about the ready hand analyzation? Well, for the ready hand, we can generate the algorithm will add 1 tile each, total 28 different tiles. We add them one at a time. So if to check if it is a winning hand or not. If it is yes, then it will output that particular tile and the form of the winning hand. Yeah. In this project, the real challenges is at first you have to know many in Mahjong. At first, you have to know how to carry score, and the identify winning hand and ready hand situation is really hard for beginners. And the second one is there's no single best solution in Mahjong.
There's no single
best solution. So because sometimes in here you can see for if you're aiming for bamboo or character, they are both equally likely. So to get around with that, I choose to output all the possibilities for them to let them to pick which one do you want. Sometimes people play Mahjong based on their mood or what they want to play instead of really calculating the possibilities. So I show them all the results. The third one is there's no previous system to reference, especially in Hong Kong Mahjong.
How come?
Because
that's very traditional game.
Yes, it's a very traditional game. There's thousands of Mahjong games, but no one is trying to do a assisting system for user to use. I don't know, but well, I see some like very few in Japanese Mahjong, but definitely not in Hong Kong Mahjong.
For those computer games, do they have some kind of tutorial or some kind?
They have tutorial, but definitely not teach you how to play the best strategy. And the AI in those games are really, really dumb.
Really?
Yes, they are. So no one want to play with the AI. No one want to play with the AI. So when I think about the future development, I can input all those analysis to build a really good AI. Relatively good. Definitely not the very best, but it will beat all the AI in the market.
Because I think this model actually for, in a way, I thought that it can be quite complicated for Mahjong.
Yes.
But the way that you describe the algorithm, it looks like it simplifies a lot.
Yes, because
So I don't know whether, is there something missing or not?
I simplify all the score calculation. It's in the program, but I don't put it in here because there's too much information to, yeah. For a professional player like me, we will also calculate which hand are the highest score. So we tend towards to fastest or the highest. We pick one.
It's about expected value, right? So
Yes,
that is
yes.
it's an expected value. You want to see, even though it may be a very small probability, but the reward is very high. Maybe you still take that route.
Yeah. But I didn't integrate that part yet in my program. So
And also, how do you take into consideration of other players' performance?
we can check where the throwing tiles of in the river of them, so we can know which direction they are towards it.
Right.
So we can calculate.
Predict what kind of card they have in their hand, that kind of things. This kind of side information will be important for you to, when you make every decision. So actually, there are actually a lot of hours,
Yes.
but there are a lot of information in the process.
Well, that's I think it's separate system, but definitely you can mix them up to make a very good AI to play with. Yeah. This is basically my presentation. Do you want to see the demo?
Yeah, sure. Although I don't know how to play.
Anyway,
I'm curious.
How good are you?
No, I'm not very good as well. This is the first time I actually see that the professional events and things like that. I didn't know they exist actually.
in here I prepare for different kind of situation. This one, the first one, I simulate the random 14 tiles you will get at the first place. And the second one is a ready winning hand. So it will have to, the system will have to calculate the total score. And the third one is a winning ready hand. So you are waiting for one final tile, but maybe you don't know which one or how many of them. And the system also help you with that. And the third one is it appears to be a winning hand, but it actually is not. So you have to throw one card to become a ready hand. But which one do you pick? That's the very important question. And so let's do the first. First one, it shows that you are better to do dots mixed suit as your target.
The first one is for the first person.
Yes. No.
The first one.
The first example. Yeah.
The first one.
So if you input that, definitely as a normal player, expert player, you know the extra ones are those four because we can do the dots with the mix with the honor tiles. And the second one is a winning hand. So it can separate like this. So 4 set and a pair of hearts. Right. So it also it will help you to calculate how much score you get. So it's 4 score because you got 3 I don't know what's it called, but this honor tiles, and you are mixed suit, so it's total 4 score. And the third one is the ready hand. So it will show you are actually waiting for 4, 5, 7, and 8 character. You can separate like this. So you're waiting for 7 and 8. or like this, you are waiting for 4 and 5. And the last one is really the hardest one for human to analyze. Which one to throw is the best? As it shown here, you can either throw 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or no. You can either throw any of them. You will get a winning hand. But which one is the best? The system show the best one is the final one. If you throw the north one, so you're actually waiting for 3, 6, and 9 bamboo.
Why this one is the best one?
Because as you can see, the total tiles you are expecting is 3 plus 2 plus 4, so it's actually 9. So you have 9 tiles for you to build the winning hand.
So so you have higher chance to
Yes,
getting
exactly.
that. So is that always true? I mean, the more tile that you...
It's always true because people will throw more likely to throw the tiles you want because more of them, there's more likely. Either you draw it or someone will throw it. So it basically is all my presentation. Is any problem?